anytime you're doing dishes, you must use hot water. I'm not talking warm water. I'm not talking tepid water or cold water. I'm talking hot as you can stand on your hands water. Because the hotter it is, the less microbes, the less germs it will let survive. So, and I mean, since we can't get it like sub-zero freezing, because that's the other way that you can go, because there's going to be people that are like, well, you can kill microbials by freezing them. Well, no crap, but it's got to be sub-zero freezing. Okay, so since that's not really possible for us to do dishes with liquid water, we go ahead and use as hot as we can stand water. Some people have really low tolerance for hot water. So if you have low tolerance for that, go ahead and get yourself a pair of rubber gloves. They have really cute ones that have like these really cute little cuffs and stuff so you can feel all fancy while you're doing them. That's our tip. All right, so first things first, let's get the hot water running because we have a on-demand hot water heater that takes 30 seconds to 1 minute to get the hot water actually to our kitchen sink. For some reason it takes the longest to get to the kitchen. I don't know, it's actually close, whatever. So we're gonna go ahead and turn that on, and then we're going to go ahead and get these going. Now I haven't pre-soaked these. We didn't rinse them after we were done using them because I wanted to show you guys worst case scenario and what you do with them. Which, I mean, it's not totally worst case scenario because there's not mold and nasty stuff like you see on hoarders. But either way, just do this. So we're gonna set this over here. And this is what I do. If we have a dinner party or something and I decide not to clean up till the next day and I have a stack of plates like this, this is what I do. You take the top one, you put it in the bottom of the sink, you put the water running on it, and you just let it run for a couple seconds and keep stacking. And you just keep going till all of them are in here. And what that does is it allows this bottom part to fill up a little bit, and whenever you put the next plate on it, it pushes the water up to the top, so you're essentially like pre-soaking them. And then don't forget about the little ones because little ones can be plates too. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and open the dishwasher while we let those soak for a minute. Pull out your bottom tray. This, 9 times out of 10, if it's a basket like this, it will come out of your dishwasher. My friend has one where it's like, it ends up sort of looking like this, and it's actually attached to the door. Those ones don't come out. You have to just kind of load it in the door. Not as big of a fan of those ones, but I mean, work with what you've got, right? So, this I take out, and I kind of set it here. That way it's out of my way while I'm doing the plates. Copy. Alright, so normally I would say just use the scrubby if you're washing them. But since we're pre-doing them to put them in the dishwasher, this is the scrub brush that we use. I think I got it at Aldi for like $1.50 or something like that, US. For the entire pack of these red and white ones. This one I have had 8 years at least, and I got it at IKEA with my friend one day when we were killing some time. It's amazing. I highly suggest it. This one is our fruit and vegetable one. It stays up there, it stays clean, so everything we use that with we know is clean. So let's go ahead and get started. And you're just trying to get anything that's stuck on off of it, because if you can't get it off, neither can the dishwasher. And if it's putting up a fight, put a little bit of water in it, put it on the bottom. And keep going. I like this one because it has a little scraper thing on the back, this thing. So it gets stuff off really easy. So little plates. I always start behind the last one because why waste space, right? So we're just going to stack these up like this. And it usually goes pretty quick, especially if you let them sit for a minute with the water in them. Hi, Ginger. Now, I'm sure that some of you are going to wonder, Katie, why are you washing the dishes that you're going to put in the dishwasher? First of all, don't be a smart aleck, okay? Second of all, we're not washing them. Like I said, we're just getting the stuck on food or any food particles off of it, because, like I said, the dishwashers have a strainer like your sink does. And you know how sometimes your sink drainer gets full and you gotta dump it out in the trash can? The same thing happens with the dishwasher. And if that happens halfway through the wash cycle, it can't drain right. And that's whenever you end up with random leaks sometimes. Or it will actually, most dishwashers have a sensor where it'll actually cut down the efficiency of it until you clean it. So you end up with like dirty dishes coming out. So that's all you're doing. You're not really washing them. You're just kind of fluffing them off. So I do little plates on this side, and I do big plates on that side. That's just what I do. It's the easiest way for me to load this dishwasher. And I've done it. I've loaded several dishwashers, and as long as you do it like this, they always come out clean. And you can get an amazing amount of dishes in there. So make sure that whenever you're putting plates in, there is one plate per slot. If you put more than one plate, they'll stick together and the bottom one won't get washed well. Okay, so we obviously have more plates dirty than will fit in that one side. So what I do is I start back as close to the silverware tray as possible. You'll see why. It's for later stacking purposes. So don't start like right up against the small plates. Start as close to the spot where the silverware tray goes as possible. Side note, I think that this is like every friggin' dish that we own. So almost 100% of the time our kitchen does not look like this. I just felt that I needed to add that disclaimer. So there is all of that. The next thing that I do is the bowls, because you'll see. They stack better. They stack the next best to the plates. And we go ahead and do those the same way that we did the plates, by putting a little bit of water in them to kind of give it a little bit of a pre-soak. since those look pretty rough, we are gonna let them go ahead and soak for a second. I'm gonna clean up that end of the counter a little bit, have a couple drinks of coffee, and we'll be back here in just a couple minutes. Hi, okay, so we've been letting the bowls sit for a couple minutes because they had some sticky stuff, namely like milk from cereal and stuff in the bottom that gets super sticky, even if you just leave it overnight. So it's best to just go ahead and give those a quick rinse, even if you're not gonna throw them in the dishwasher right away. So while we let those soak for a minute, we're gonna talk about silverware, okay? Right here. This is pretty much all of our silverware, at least all of our forks. So this is, you're like, why are they in a cup? Upside down, right? So if you get nothing else from this video, take this trick, especially for doing like dinner parties or holidays or whatever. This is the way to do it if you just kind of want to put it off till the next day. So right before you put them in, you grab a glass that needs to be washed as well. Not a clean one. You make sure that it is, again, hot water, and that still is. And you're gonna fill it up as much as you need to. About like that. See how it comes up to the top of all of the silverware there? All of the heads for the silverware, the knives and everything are completely submerged in water. This is gonna soak those so that whenever we go to put them in the dishwasher, they will just, we'll just be able to take the brush, go swoop, swoop, and put them right in the dishwasher.
How'd that go again?
Swoop, swoop. That one?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what kind of noise does a scrub brush make? I mean, I don't want to go like scrub, scrub. I mean, that's not, we're not scrubbing, we're flicking. Yes,
Can you also regale us on what the fox says? Oh God.
Okay.
Okay.
That was your doing. All right. So now that we have those in water, we're gonna just go ahead and let them soak until we're ready to do them. So trust me, that one's gonna save you a lot of time. So the bowls, I put them in 2 places for a couple reasons. One, because that's just how they fit in our dishwasher. You might have a little bit of a bigger dishwasher, a little bit of a smaller one. This is just how we load them into ours. So the larger bowls, so like this one and the bigger Fiestaware ones, we put in the bottom tray with the plates. And then these smaller ones here, we only have 4 of them and they don't take up that much space. So I go ahead and put them in this top one just because it saves space, and if you put them in the bottom one, then you can't put like an extra pot or something on top. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with this. So the big one goes kind of sideways in the middle there, up against the little plates. Is it all making sense now? Right? And don't worry, dishwasher Nazis, it'll get clean. You'll see the end result. So these are the small bowls, and I have little tiny baby hands, so they really are small ones. I put them right up against this like this, even though there's a note on here that says do not block opening. Technically, we're not completely blocking the opening, and trust me, it works totally fine. Everything on the top shelf gets washed and rinsed. I've never had a problem with it. Josh and I had to go around about that last year or something. He's like, but you're blocking the thing that says don't block it. And I was like, trust me. So I win. So we're going to go ahead and get these last couple small ones in there. And you just keep stacking them like this. You have to start with the inside and work your way out on the top shelf here. Otherwise, if you try and stack them inside of each other, going from the outside in, it ain't gonna work. Trust me, I've tried it. Okay. That's the stinky one. Alright, so that's those. And then we have a couple of our big ones here. We don't eat a lot of cereal around here anymore, a lot of dry breakfast cereals. So, and I usually make like full-on meals. So we really don't use a lot of the of the big bowls anymore. So what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to push these forward. I've put this one up against these small plates, and then the other three here we're going to stack inside of each other. So you'll see what I mean here in a second. It's kind of like playing Tetris, to be totally honest. How much crap can I shove in here and everything still have access to water? That's the trick with the dishwasher. So that one is actually in the way. So we're just going to slide it in here. And then I don't think this other one's going to fit, so we're just going to put it in the middle with that white one. Just like that. And then we'll put that one back where it came from. Okay, so that looks pretty good. That's our bottom shelf. We'll be adding a few more things to it, but we're going to move on to mugs and cups and glasses, which all go on the top shelf as much as you can get. So we're going to go ahead and do that next. Ooh, that's a piece of rice. Okay. So we have all different types of mugs and glasses and whatnot. So we have this mug, which is a giant, like, cappuccino mug. I don't know what kind of mug this is, but it's a giant one that doubles as a cereal bowl or soup bowl or whatever, down to like the 1 cup measuring cup. That's the range that we have. So you kind of gotta jiggle it and work it, like I said, Tetris style, to make everything fit where it can. If it does not all fit on the top shelf, like if you have enough room for one of these glasses, but not a giant mug like this, these bowl sort of size ones can go on the bottom rack. It's not really going to hurt them if you have room. So I think that's about it for those. So let's go ahead and get started. Again, I always put a little bit of water in the bottom of whatever I'm working with, like, because we use a French press coffee pot most of the time. It leaves that little bit of residue in the glass, so if you don't rinse it out right away, Josh, it gets kind of sticky and gross and you need to rehydrate it. So that's what we're doing here. We're just rehydrating it so we can flip it out. Okay, I'll be honest, this one's me, right? That one's me. These are our actual espresso mugs that we got. They come right apart. I always fill it. So this one's me. But you soak it the same way as the other ones. If you have any glasses that had milk in them, that your husband, kids, if you were running out the door and forgot, just go ahead and put some water in them and let them soak a little bit longer than the other ones, or they will be a beast to get the stuff out of the bottom. Again, you're just rinsing these, you're getting the stuff out of it so that your dishwasher doesn't get clogged, and since they're going on the top shelf, it gets a lot less impact. It gets a lot less force from the sprayers on the top shelf. That's why, like, your more delicate dishes go up there. So you gotta make sure that they're a little bit cleaner than the other ones. Oh, same goes for his tea glasses, but I'll take that one because those are normally my glasses. All right. So just go ahead and give them a quick swoosh with the scrub brush. Make sure that there's nothing stuck to it. And then I do all of the glasses or regular cups on one side and all of the mugs on the other one because they're usually similar shapes, so you can stack more of them in the same area. So the mugs, take the handle, put it in the back corner. No matter which side you're using, put the handle in the corner, or you won't be able to fit as many in there. You actually, believe it or not, by putting all of the handles towards the back, you get an entire mug's worth of room out of that. So you can put an extra mug up there. Then if you just kind of willy-nilly put the handles whichever way. So again, I put the handle towards the back corner and push it in kind of behind the other glass. Or mug. Sorry, those are coffee mugs, not glasses. Again, all sizes, the handle towards the back corner, and shove it in there. Little handle, back corner, shove it in there. Okay, so once you have all of your mug side filled up, then you're going to start staggering them here in the slots that you've made. So you should be able to get like 5 or 6 more in this area here. That is all of our glasses, and we still have 4 mugs left. So we're going to go ahead and use this open space over here to go ahead and finish loading up the mugs. And quite enough room for this one on the top shelf, so we're going to go ahead and put this one on the bottom shelf with the bowls. We're just going to kind of let it fall like that. There you go. Alright, so that is all the plates, bowls, mugs, and glasses are in there. So the next thing that we're going to do is containers, like Tupperware or Pyrex containers. We try to use glass containers, so Pyrex and Anchor Hocking are the ones that we use. So there are 2 materials usually. There is the glass bottom and the silicone or like rubbery plasticky kind of thing for the lids. The lids you will want to put on the top shelf because they can be broken down due to the abrasiveness of the packet that we use, and if the hotter water in the bottom hits it at a certain velocity, it can also start to break it down or make it a little bit less sturdy. So same thing as like if you put it in a microwave. So I think I just killed a stink bug. Total side note. Okay. So is this all the containers for you? So again, like we've been doing with everything, fill it up with a little bit of water to do like a little pre-soak with it. And while the bottoms are pre-soaking, I go ahead and do the tops and get those loaded up. So we're going to go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, so if you have any completely plastic ones like this, try to put both parts on the top shelf, again, because of the abrasiveness and the proximity to the extreme heat of the water. So we're going to go ahead and pull this out. And again, when you see how I load this, you're going to say, no way. There's no way that those are going to get clean with the jumbled up freaking mess that is Katie. You're insane, you're psycho, and you're a liar. Nay, nay. Watch. Learn. Breathe. Okay. So again, all you want to do is make sure that all of the crap is off of this. Now, this is where your Tetris skills come in. Okay? So this one has this lip, and I know that this lip holds stuff. So it holds water, it holds whatever. So I want to make sure that this drains pretty well. So I just kind of put it slanted or straight up like that. I know, you're like, that's not gonna work. But it really does. It really does. So for your little lids, you can just kind of fit them in there wherever they'll fit. Again, just fluffing off the stuff that's on there, if there's any. Okay. Looking pretty good, looking pretty good. And then the bigger ones will not fit in these areas. So I put them bottom side to the front, because that way they'll lean towards the front a little bit and the inside lip won't hold the water. But, and these square ones, sometimes you just gotta shove them in there. This one over here. There we go. That looks pretty jumbled up. Okay. And then this little guy is going right there. Okay, that's it. That is all that would possibly fit on this top shelf. Trust me, I know. So we're going to go ahead and close that top shelf because we're done with it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take all of these glass bottoms. See, we got a bunch of them here. And we're going to stack them on top of the plates and bowls. Okay, who's ready for some Jenga Tetris? What? Okay, so here we go. Start with the smallest one. And just kind of let it fall to the bottom there, like that. And we're going to end up with probably a row, because I know that we have 3 of those, so. That one should be able to go like that. Okay. And we have the next size up. It's going to go like this. And it's okay if the tops of the plates touch, because we put 1 per peg, which means if the tops touch, it'll still get all of the water to where it needs to go. Put that one there. That one there like that. have one more, but it needs to soak for a minute. This is as tall as this can possibly go. Any taller than that, and this sprayer up here will not be able to rotate like it has to. So if you're loading your dishwasher to an extreme level, kind of like this, and I'm actually going to put that down a little bit more, make sure, go ahead and close it and test it to make sure that that can spin freely. If that does not go the whole way around, take whatever you have on top out, because you don't have enough room for it, and the stuff on the top will not get washed as well, or at all sometimes. So, whoops, looks like we're good. And there we go. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the silverware and get that in here so that we can go ahead and get the dishwasher actually going. So, we have all of these. Yes, I'm aware that we didn't fit these glasses in there, but fret not. In the next video, we're going to be doing hand washing and learning how to wash glass things to make sure that they sparkle and shine without streaks and fingerprints and everything is actually a huge thing for any homemaker or anyone that's going to school or just trying to not be gross. So we're going to go ahead and set all of these that have been soaking in here. And we're going to get the hot water going again. Okay. Grab our handy dandy scrub brush. And I try not to grab more than 3 at a time because they have to be completely fanned out for you to be able to get them clean. So these are pretty grody, if you can see that here on the front and the back. So what you do, just take your brush and it should be able to come off that easy. Bam, look at that. It's almost completely clean. And then you put the heads of whatever you're doing up. So we're just going to go ahead and do the rest of these up real quick. And I will talk again in a minute. This one goes anywhere you can fit it on the top shelf because, again, it's plastic and it's really tall. So whenever you push in the bottom rack, the spinner for the top one actually pings on it every time it goes around, reducing the speed and efficiency of it. Alrighty, I think that that's about it for silverware. Good, okay. So this is the other one that we need to soak for a minute. So we'll just set that there. Take your silverware, set it right in the spot. Try and make sure that all of your knives and forks and stuff are kind of facing the inside because they'll get pinged on the outside here. So let's kind of make it look like that. There we go. that is your fully loaded dishwasher. Okay, so go ahead and close the top and make sure that if you have it stacked up pretty high, especially with glass stuff, that you just kind of put your hand here in the middle and push it evenly in like that. So we actually keep this stuff under the sink, not on the counter like it was earlier. So this you put in, and it's got this little triangle-y thing that can be set to different levels depending on how much you want. So you just fill it up to just above the top of that triangle like that. That's all you need for the whole load. And then you take this packet and you put it in here. Now, do not do this until you are ready to start the washer, or it'll get stuck up here and just kind of bloop, bloop, bloop into the washing machine, and it won't completely dissolve and your dishes will come out dirty. So this is the one that we use. So we're gonna drop it in, lock it, close it. We're going to double check that we are on pots and pans because we want a little bit higher velocity on the jets. We want the high temp wash to make sure that we get them completely clean. And then over here, it has all of these different settings. We go ahead and just put it on normal wash most of the time. If you're doing pots and pans that have a little bit of stick to them, go ahead and put it on pots and pans. But we're just gonna go ahead and turn the dial to normal, and you can hear it, it just started. And it'll make all kinds of whines and groans and stuff. Just kind of let it do its thing. Ours takes about an hour because we have it on a high temp wash, so it fills it up and then it heats it and all of that stuff. So from start to finish, like whenever it's completely done drying and everything, takes about an hour. So I know that, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a couple of other things to clean up this mess, and we will be back with you guys when this is done and we're ready to do the next step. Okay, we'll see you in a bit.